Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Crochet Diaries. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Claudia, the Crochet Fairy. No one actually called me the Crochet Fairy. I just like to call myself the Crochet Fairy because I'm obsessed with fairies. But welcome to this podcast segment of my channel. I'm glad you guys can make it here. I have a small business called Crochet Couture UK on literally every socials: Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube. But yeah, I basically have a small business and I like to crochet for fun, and I decided to turn it into a small business. And now I just thought, let me start a podcast series on my channel just so I could talk to you guys about crocheting, about crafts, about creativity, about literally anything to do with crocheting. So that's what this podcast segment is. I didn't actually explain it in my other episodes, but I'm explaining it now so you guys could catch on. So if you clicked on today's episode, or if you saw this video on your feed, on your recommended on YouTube, it's basically the universe telling you that this video was made for you. Whether or not you crochet or you want to get into crocheting, this podcast episode is just basically, I'm going to be spilling some tea. Okay, not spilling tea, but I'm basically going to be giving you guys some tips and advice on how to get into crocheting if you want to get into crocheting. It's nearly the end of the year and I honestly don't know what you're doing with your life if you're not crocheting. Like, genuinely, I don't know what you're doing. Before I found crocheting, I was lost. I was lost. I literally was not doing much. I just wasn't doing anything, and then lockdown happened and that's how I got into crocheting. And ever since, I've just been addicted. I've literally crocheted every single day since lockdown. Okay, maybe that's a stretch, not every single day, but you get the idea. Basically, crochet is my life now, and it could be your life as well. So stick around, buckle up, get whatever it is you need to get to watch this video, and I'm just gonna dive right into the episode. So when I first learned how to crochet, there wasn't really many crochet podcasters or creators making podcast kind of segments on their channels or whatever. So I just decided to put it upon, this mic sounds really loud. I just decided to put it upon myself to be that person I didn't have when I started crocheting. So yeah, if you want to learn how to crochet, obviously you have to get the material, the tools, I want to say accessories, but it's not accessories, the tools and materials basically to get into crocheting. Obviously you can't crochet without the main ingredient. You want to start with the basics, right? You want to get your hooks, you want to get your yarns, your tape measure, your stitch markers. They're basically the essentials of what you need to get into crocheting. Without them, you basically cannot crochet anything, like at all. Without the main ingredient, the hook, you're basically stuck. So if you want to learn how to crochet or get into crocheting, make sure you get some hooks. These are literally like £6 on Amazon. They have like a kit that it comes with like loads of different sizes. They have like a 3.5 millimeters, which is like one of the smaller sizes, and a 10 millimeter hook, which is one of the bigger sizes. And yeah, the sizes just range, so depending on what it is you're making over time, you kind of understand as you progress. But to begin with, just stick with like a 6mm hook or a 5mm hook within the set. I will show you guys basically what the kit looks like. So my one, I got it as a birthday present from a friend, and okay, it's opened, and basically there's a lot of stuff that comes inside the kit. A lot of the stuff you don't actually need to use because it's just, I don't know, you don't really need the other stuff. You just need your hooks, your tape measure, this is a safety pin, but it's like a stitch holder, yeah, so stitch holder, and then these little paper clip looking things, stitch markers. They're literally all you need to get into crocheting. And then obviously you need your yarn. These are the basics that you need to get into crocheting. Loads of different types of hooks. The main one that you pretty much need is the aluminium hook, which is this one. But as a beginner, you just want to make sure you start getting comfortable holding your hooks. So I prefer using these ergonomic hooks now because of the rubber material on the outside, so it just feels more comfortable to hold compared to just the aluminium metal hooks, which over time kind of hurts my wrists. But make sure you get hooks that have ergonomic grips like this, or like those balls that you put on and it feels comfortable as well. If you can't, you know, afford these ones, or if you don't want to get these ones, or you can't find them, I'll leave it in the link, by the way, guys. But yeah, if you just for some reason don't want to get these ones, you could always get like have like tennis balls or beauty blenders and literally just poke a hole through it and then just put it on, and then it'll kind of feel a bit more comfortable. I wish I had something to show you what I meant right now, but yeah, basically just get the basics if you want to get into crocheting, because you can't do anything without the basics, you know. So as well, speaking of basics, you want to learn the stitches. Obviously, like, you can't do anything within the crochet world without knowing stitches. So your next goal when you want to learn how to crochet is learning the basic stitches, and these basic stitches are basically the slip knot. You cannot start any project without a slip knot. Obviously you can do the foundation chain, but that's a bit more advanced, and if you're a beginner it won't be very straightforward, but you can still learn that as a beginner because it's a good foundation to learn. Do you get it? So we have the foundation stitch, the slip stitch, single crochet, double crochet, slip knot. What did I miss? Did I say double crochet? Yeah, those are basically the main stitches. You want to learn how to make those stitches in like swatches, and what I mean by swatches is just basically making like little panels with those specific stitches. So for example, if I was to do like, say, a swatch of just single crochet, I'll make a swatch this size and it will all just be single crochets. And if I wanted to do with double crochets, I'll do the exact same thing with that swatch. And essentially you just want to keep practicing and practicing and practicing until you kind of feel you're okay, or you're comfortable, or like the tension is good and you have a good grip on the hook and the stitches are neat and cohesive and stay consistent throughout the whole of the swatch. Because if you don't, you're going to pick up bad habits of having like a really tight stitch at the front and then really loose stitches at the end of the project, and you don't want that because it just doesn't look nice and it's just inconsistent, and you want to stay consistent. So learn how to do swatches as a beginner before learning how to do any projects of any type. Everybody always says like practice makes perfect, but when you learn how to crochet, you don't always want to strive for perfection straight away. You want to strive for progress. Like, as a beginner, that's something you need to focus on, progress as opposed to perfection, because if you have the perfection mindset as a beginner, you're going to either crash out, burn out, or just give up because you can't get it perfect how you want it to be. So have it in your mind that you want to see progress with your stitches, with the length of the work, with the consistency of how much you crochet and everything, because at the end of the day, even me, I've been crocheting for like 3 years now, I'm still not perfect, because it's just something that you're always learning. Like, you're always learning new stitches, you're always learning how to better your tension or your gauge, or finding better patterns or better techniques to just basically do better. So yeah, no one is ever really perfect at crocheting. So just don't go into crocheting with the mindset that you're going to be 100% perfect, because at the end of the day, it's not perfection we want, it's progress. And progress means you're growing, and growth means you're getting better at it. Do you get it? If you're not growing or progressing with your skills, how do you expect to reach perfection if you can't go past where you currently are? Once you found how you like to hold the hook, let me show you guys how I first started holding my hooks. I'm just gonna put the mic here. But at the start of crocheting, I used to like hold the hook like this. I think it was like this, I don't really remember, but there's 2 types of ways to hold the hook. Obviously everyone's way of holding the hook is different, but the 2 ways I know of is like this, holding it like a pen, like this, and you do your stitches, or you hold it like this. I prefer holding it like this just because it feels more comfortable and easier, and it just flows better for me. But I know some other people like to hold it like this. Like, I know my friend, she likes to crochet like this because it's just easier for her, but for me, I cannot. So I have to hold it like this and you've, you know, gotten better at making tighter stitches and neater stitches and bigger swatches or longer swatches or whatever, then you can move on to making your first project. So you want to start off with like easy, beginner friendly tutorials. When I first learned how to crochet, I don't know why, but I just decided to make a jumper. It was very ambitious of me to make a jumper, because obviously there was like increases and decreases to get the v-neck bit of the sweater. But I wouldn't recommend doing a project like that as a beginner. I would recommend doing stuff like headbands or like coasters or even scarves or something small that doesn't take too much time to complete, because as a beginner you don't want to overstimulate yourself, you don't want to spend too much time and then get frustrated and then just give up. Like, no, that's not what we're about. So start off with like something simple like a headband or a scarf or a coaster, and as you feel your confidence build up, then you can start thinking about making projects like hats or like cardigans or jumpers or even a skirt. Like, a skirt looks simple enough to make, but the time that goes into making skirts is it's a lot, especially for a beginner. It's a lot and it can scare off beginners. So yeah, just start off with something small, quick and simple. Guys, if it looks like my eyes are watering, I'm not crying. My eyes was itchy and I decided to scratch it like the silly person I am, and now it just feels like it's watering. So if it looks like I'm crying, I'm not crying. But you're probably thinking, okay, Claudia, cool, I practiced all my swatches, I've, you know, gotten better at making panels, and I've learned the double crochet, the half double crochet, I've learned all the stitches and stuff. Where am I gonna find all these tutorials, like, you know, to make my first project? Well, look no further. We're in the day and age where literally you can find any tutorial you want. I'm not crying, guys. I promise, I'm not crying. We're literally in the day and age where everything is basically free on YouTube. Like tutorials, learning how to do things, it's all on YouTube for free. There are people like myself who make tutorials, crochet tutorials, and they just post it for people like you who want to learn how to crochet. So I'm gonna give you guys some beginner friendly crochet creators or crochet YouTube channels that you guys could subscribe to learn how to crochet and follow along with their easy to follow tutorials. So one of my favorite crochet YouTubers is Cameron Kane. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but basically she does like lifestyle crochet kind of content. She has tutorials as well, and she has like challenges like Pinterest, decide what I crochet, or crochet whatever for 24 hours. Basically her tutorials are actually very useful and very helpful. I've made a lot of stuff using her tutorials because it's just so easy to follow along. So she is definitely one of the crochet creators to look out for if you want to learn how to crochet or get into crocheting. And then we have Mahan. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but I absolutely love her tutorials because everything she makes is literally cutesy and girly, and obviously I love cutesy girly stuff, especially when it's crocheted. So yeah, if you want to have more girly kind of cutesy crochet kind of creations, she's definitely the crochet YouTuber for you guys. And one of my mutuals on Instagram, she also has a YouTube channel. She's called Crochet for the Girlies, and she basically does tutorials as well for like cutesy girly crochet stuff. And yeah, you guys should check out her videos as well if you want to get into crocheting, because the tutorials are very easy, and she also has written patterns as well for you guys. So if you feel like over time you want to challenge yourself and start reading patterns, then she's definitely another YouTuber to look out for. If you don't want like specific YouTubers or like creators, there are like some yarn companies like Hobbycrafts or Wool and the Gan who have YouTube channels, and they basically just show you like really short videos on how to do certain stitches or basic stitches or literally anything you need to know about crocheting. They have videos on it. So yeah, you guys can as well check those kind of videos out. If you don't want long videos or like crocheters who have lifestyle content as well as regular crochet videos, then they are definitely the videos for you guys. Oh my gosh, guys, how can I literally tell you all this stuff about crocheting and not tell you about crochet terminology? If you want to learn how to crochet, you need to understand crochet terminology, because over time that's literally all you're going to be reading, crochet terminology. And when I say crochet terminology, I'm not talking just like crochet lingo that is used in the crochet community. I'm talking crochet abbreviations, crochet slang, whatever it is, whatever you depict as terminology, you need to understand it and learn it from the get-go, because you don't want to be an advanced crocheter and not know what SC stands for. It stands for single crochet, by the way. But yeah, you just want to make sure you know the terminology, the abbreviations, all that kind of stuff, and know the conversions between UK terminology and US terminology. Don't be like me and be living in the UK and learn US crochet terminology. Like, I didn't even know when I first started crocheting, I didn't even know that there was a US and UK terminology for crocheting, and every tutorial that I watched on YouTube was mostly American, so I ended up learning the US terminology. Now I cannot learn the UK terminology because my brain just knows the US terminology. So it's like trying to learn the UK one is just difficult and it's confusing, because for some reason the UK want to overcomplicate everything, and it's not even necessary. So if you want to learn how to crochet, pick whichever terminology is you want to stick to or learn first and learn it. If you want to learn both of them, then I say learn both of them, because you don't want to be reading a pattern that is using US terminology and you've only learned the UK terminology and you're confused, or vice versa. So it's good to know both of them as a beginner or from the get-go. So yeah, sorry for the lighting change, guys. I just wanted to change the lighting because I just want to be extra. But another advice I would give to people who want to learn how to crochet or get into crocheting is to join crochet communities, whether it's on Instagram or on TikTok or wherever social media platform you use. Make sure you're in crochet communities, because these are honestly like, it's so nice to be part of a crochet community where everyone is just, you know, kind to each other and helpful and gives advice to each other, and it's just sweet. Like, it's nice. So make sure you join those communities to give tips and advice and tricks and whatnot to each other, and take those advice from other people that also crochet. You could be a newbie in crocheting and you're a part of a crochet community and they're literally experts in crochet. You can ask them any question you want, and a lot of the times they, you know, answer your questions. I always try to answer people who want to learn how to crochet. Like, if they have questions and they come to me, I want to help them and teach them and tell them everything I know so that they too can crochet. I don't like to gatekeep. That's one thing I don't like about crocheting. I don't like to gatekeep. So if you have any questions or anything, ask me. I'm always happy to help you guys, because it's just, crochet is such a joy, and why would you want to gatekeep something that everybody can enjoy? Do you get it? So anything you know, ask me and I shall tell you as much as I know. Yes. But yeah, guys, basically just have fun with it. Like, it's not something to be stressed out about. It's not something that, you know, you should get frustrated over or get annoyed about or whatever. Just enjoy crocheting. It's such an enjoyable, like, hobby or crafts or pastime or whatever you want to call it. It's enjoyable, and I want you guys to have fun with it. Like, be creative, try new things, try new things, step out of your comfort zone. Even as a beginner, like, you can try an ambitious stitch, like literally anything. You just go for it, guys. Like, there's nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you not picking up that hook and starting. That's what's stopping you.